2000 hours at 24 o'clock our time and 8 o'clock in East African time. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News tonight. With me, Wadulo Mark Arnold. Mugalu Mohammed is on sign language this 29th day of April 2022. Without further ado, let's take a look at our top stories. In our headlines, Mozambique President, His Excellency Filipe Jacinto Nyusi, concludes his two-day visit to Uganda. Furthermore, Deputy Inspector General Police directs on curbing noise pollution. And labour sector stakeholders urged to follow the law in protecting workers' rights. "60 minutes long of news. Stay put." We now give you the news in detail. The President of Mozambique, His Excellency Filipe Jacinto Nyusi, Friday concluded his three-day state visit to Uganda, where he commended the hospitality accorded to him and his entourage while in the country. His host, Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, reiterated Uganda's readiness to work with Mozambique, especially in areas of security and military support, wildlife and conservation, and agriculture.
Because we are busy with Somalia, where we have got 6,000 soldiers, and we are now in Congo, where we have got 4,000 soldiers now. What we decided to do for now was to send materials. This is what His Excellency was talking about. I'm told the problem is being solved, but if it is not solved for some reason, and we have quietened the issue in Congo, which we don't want to stay there forever, then we shall have to deploy a big force there, not a small force. We shall have to, like we have deployed in Congo, a big force which can make an impact, not just to go there to appear. So materials for now, but manpower if necessary.
Dizer se a Moçambique aceita ou não. Uganda já está a apoiar Moçambique, logisticamente e de forma muito profunda, e nós viemos aqui, uma das questões que vim fazer é vir agradecer.
Your question was whether Uganda was willing. Uganda is already supporting Mozambique in a very profound manner, logistically, and what we've come to Uganda to say is to express our gratitude to our sisters and brothers from Uganda for this support.
In another development, the First Lady of Mozambique, Her Excellency Dr. Isaura Ferrao Nyusi, has today visited Bulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital and commended the government of Uganda for its efforts in improving the health of women and children. Mrs. Nyusi is the patron of the Model Maternity and Ward Certification in Mozambique, an initiative of the Ministry of Health of Mozambique. Dr. Isaura Ferrao Nyusi was received by the Minister of Health, Honorable Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, and Dr. Evelyn Nabunya, who is the Executive Director, Mulago Women Hospital, together with her medical staff, and were guided on a tour of the Radiology Department, Laboratory and Diagnostic Area, and Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. While at Intensive Care Unit for premature babies, Mrs. Nyusi was shown how premature babies are catered for and the kangaroo style, where mothers put their premature babies on their chest for better growth and protection. She was further led to a wall of hope displaying pictures of babies, including quadruplets, who were born premature but are now living examples. During the tour, Dr. Evelyn Nabunya informed Mrs. Nyusi that the hospital offers different specialized services, including antenatal clinics, benign gynecology, urogynecology, gene oncology, physiotherapy, radiology, fluoroscopy, mammography, ultrasound, family planning, kangaroo follow-up clinic, cervical cancer screening, immunization, postnatal clinic, neonatal intensive care unit, kangaroo mother care, operation theaters, intensive care unit, high dependency unit, and labor suits, among others. Earlier, Dr. Isaura Ferrao Nyusi held a bilateral meeting with the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, at State House in Tebe, during which they discussed various issues in the sectors of education, health and environmental conservation. She appreciated President Museveni and his wife, Janet Kataha Museveni, for the opportunity to visit the hospital on Kalangala Island and for warmly welcoming them to Uganda. Health Minister Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng appreciated Mrs. Nyusi's visit to the hospital. Present at the guided tour were Honorable Grace Freedom Kuyuchwin, Minister of State for Northern Uganda, and Dr. Henry Mwebesa, the Director General, Ministry of Health, among other dignitaries.
Da República de Moçambique,
The Honorable Minister of Health, the Honorable Minister of State for Northern Uganda,
Ministro do Estado de Uganda,
the Director General,
Diretor-Geral.
the visiting team accompanying the Minister,
Temos também time que está a acompanhar o Ministro.
the Executive Director and our team.
Temos
ladies and
também
gentlemen.
o Diretor Executivo.
On behalf of the Board Chair,
Para todos que nós temos aqui,
I want to extend our sincere thanks for your visit to Mulago Specialized Women and Neonatal Hospital.
vamos falar sobre esse hospital que chama-se Mulago.
As a country, Uganda has made progress in improving reproductive,
Como país, Uganda teve progresso na área da reprodutiva,
maternal, newborn and child and adolescent health.
Appreciate our First Lady, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni,
Nós apreciamos muito a nossa primeira-dama, Janet Museveni,
for bringing such an opportunity for us to be able to host.
para nos trazer esta oportunidade para estar com a primeira-dama de Moçambique.
We know she's very passionate about women's health and children, and
Ela-
she's a pioneer and a big supporter in that area.
Ela é muito apaixonada com as mulheres, as crianças, que apoia muito nessa área.
It is a 450-bed hospital. Services are offered at a fee.
Serviços também são oferecidos,
However, for those who are unable to pay,
por isso, aqueles que não conseguem
the
cuidar,
services are offered at no cost. A number of specialists
por isso temos bom número de especialistas
in obstetrics and gynecology,
na área da obstetrícia,
pediatrics, in anesthesiology,
pediatric,
in radiology,
na área
among
da
others.
radiologia também.
We are striving hard
Estamos a lutar muito
to ensure that all the specialist services for maternal child health are at the regional hospitals. We have challenges.
Temos desafios.
The specialists are inadequate in number.
Temos especialistas adequados.
Even as we continue to train,
nós continuamos a formar.
The pace of the training does not match the needs.
Feitos
we can say that we are all happy.
Não somente pela dimensão,
not only with the dimension
desta infraestrutura,
of the infrastructure,
mas também por acomodarem várias enfermidades,
but also to accommodate many diseases around here,
respeitante a saúde,
respecting the health
da mulher,
of women
e da criança,
and of the children,
como célula base da família,
a basic célula,
espinha dorsal da nossa sociedade.
And the backbone of our society.
Muito obrigada a todos.
Thank you very much.
Obrigada.
In another development, the NRM Secretary General Richard Tudwong has pledged to unite all NRM cadres who are in the diaspora. During a meeting with the NRM cadres from Canada under their umbrella body of Canada chapter led by Chairman Fred Chinene Tudwong, underscored the importance of having a united NRM team in the diaspora. These are the details.
This is to link the diaspora in Canada to the embassy. So the diaspora in Canada, they are waiting for NRM SEC to come and support our cause.
NRM's Secretary General Richard Tudwong has promised to have an interconnection that will link the NRM cadres in Uganda with those abroad, and also pledged to support them in different ways. This was during a meeting where he interacted with members of the NRM Canada chapter. The chairman of NRM Canada chapter, Fred Chinene, applauded the NRM government for bringing them together and for continuously supporting them, and also for the commendable leadership role exhibited.
And they are offering us the material and all those things which we need as a party, and we are so energized from here up to Canada. Thank you for those who reject.
We are doing all that is possible to ensure the symposium is a success. That is why we have this meeting. This is an internal meeting to coordinate with other meetings within internal, between the secretary, the national chairman, and all stakeholders.
Among the Ugandan delegation was the Presidential Advisor on Youth Affairs, Natural Change, who also applauded the NRM government for embracing youth growth.
We are concluding the Ugandan activities, and our team is headed to return to Canada on Wednesday. So we hope that the preparations in Canada will also be in advanced stages.
The first NRM Canada Symposium will bring together over 4,000 delegates from both Uganda and those in the diaspora.
On Sunday, 1st May 2022, join the rest of the world to commemorate International Labour Day. Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Amongi, urges all stakeholders to follow the law so as to protect the rights of workers.
This year's Workers' Day celebrations will focus on empowering workers on their journey to recovery following COVID-19 lockdown.
This year's theme for International Labour Day is mitigating the impact of COVID-19, enhancing productive employment for improved livelihoods through parish development model.
Minister for Gender, Betty Amongi, has implored employers to observe the law in protecting workers' rights.
Take them through the law, because I go with the law, including the provision of termination of dismissal. And most of them that I have taken them through the law tell me that we didn't know. Unfortunately, in most of these factories, they also don't have legal officers, they also don't have human resource officer.
The ministry is in preparation to have a toll-free line in place that will enable workers report issues affecting them. Miriam Numcha, UBC News.
The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Major General Tumusime Katsigazi, has directed police territorial commanders and DPCs to support the environment police in fighting noise pollution. The Deputy IGP singled out nightclubs and some Pentecostal churches which have made it a habit to project uncontrolled noise to surrounding communities. Details in this report.
The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Major General Geoffrey Tumusime Katsigazi, has retaliated stringent measures to reinforce control of noise pollution in communities.
Peaceful. This country is a place to live in. This country has laws. It's not a lawless society. You don't wake up and put a bar and play music the way you want. It's not going to be possible. We are going to inconvenience you.
Territorial commanders have been directed to strengthen operations to clamp down on those inclining contrary to the law.
I'm directing the other territorial police, DPCs, RPCs in regions to assist in ensuring that this law is enforced.
Another target by these noise controlling operations is the church.
Who says that the church must play music on top of their premises for God to hear? God is not deaf. The last time I read the Bible, even God says, you go and close the door and pray. Don't you remember that? I don't know the verse.
It is alleged that religious leaders, especially some from the Pentecostal church, for long have had bitter reactions toward energies to fight noise pollution.
I'm not going to enter the church thing, whether they do it or not. What I'm saying, let them preach, let them sing within the acceptable noise levels. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying close any church, no. I'm simply saying let the church operate within the law. That's all I'm saying.
General Katsigazi has also urged the public to revive terrorism vigilance, especially in busy towns and buildings.
It is our prayer that everybody, particularly those with premises in urban areas, factor in a security component in running their business. They need to ensure that they put in an infrastructure able to detect these bombs, weapons carried across. These include walkthroughs, metal detectors, and any other gadget that is able to detect weapons or bomb-related materials.
The Deputy IGP's call comes amidst undescribed attacks, especially on government officials, with the recent one targeting Principal Judge Dr. Flavian Izeije at Kalanda Zibuama Mpiji along Masaka Kampala Road. Abdul Nasser Lubwama, UBC News.
Vigilance against terrorism and the likes. Now, in other news, the State Minister for Land, Sam Mayanja, has ordered Albertine Region Police to investigate allegations that some high-profile persons have been ferrying people to settle in the Hoima Sugar Factory land in Bugoma Forest. The move follows a growing conflict between Chikube District Executive Committee Chairperson Peter Banura and Chikube District Resident Commissioner Amlan Tumusime. Let's take a look at the details.
There has been growing conflict between Chikube District Executive Committee, headed by the District Chairperson Peter Banura, and Chikube District Resident Commissioner Amlan Tumusime over some parts of land in Bugoma Forest. The conflict erupted following eviction of over 20,000 encroachers who had allegedly settled on the land given to some investor in Bugoma. In an impromptu visit to Chikube district, State Minister for Lands Sam Mayanja called for a serious investigation into the conflict between the two parties that are meant to unite the embattled group.
Actually raises also the question of the security. Who is this person or group of persons behind mobilizing people from all other parts of the country? Because we have...
His call comes in response to a petition from the district chairperson Peter Banura, pleading the RDC Hamland to send a security team for heading the alleged eviction from their land illegally. Mayanja also asked police to investigate how people ended up in the Gazette area illegally.
The RDC as a security chief, the chairman of the security in the area, has mobilized all the security group under the political leaders. Number one, to ensure that only the allowed portion of the environment allowed by NEMA with the NEMA certificate, the one used by the investor, to assure the investor that is secure.
RDC Tumusime commended the minister for his intervention and relieving him of those that have been accusing him falsely.
I cannot be part of people who are illegally evicting the people, the Vivanja holders. These people were not Vivanja holders, these were land grabbers, and they have peacefully left this area.
Buhanguzi County MP Francis Kazini warned leaders against misleading the local community for their personal interest.
That instead of misleading people, they should tell the truth to the people they are leading. Because we should lead by example. I know they got money from some people.
President Yoweri Museveni has congratulated the Muslim community upon completing the holy month of Ramadan while hosting them for iftar dinner at State House. Entebbe, President Museveni advised religious leaders to mobilize Ugandans into commercial production and other than producing for home consumption. The function was attended by, among others, the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Ramadan Mubaje, Speaker of Parliament Anita Among, and the Second Deputy Prime Minister Rukia Nakadama.
So I congratulate you because you preached very well. So all these families must get, especially the ones who have land, must get involved in producing for the stomach, but also for the pocket. And we are coming with the parish development model. We want everybody to be involved. The second point is of JMU, not listening to the advice of the government, of the NRM. Like some of these problems they are talking about now, there is a problem of buto, the oil, which is used for making soap. It is in shortage in the whole world because of the corona and so on and so on. I will give a broadcast on those issues. But we started long ago growing the vinazi, which produce that vuto. And we started in Karangara. Karangara now is producing. But what Karangara is producing is not enough because our efforts are always being interfered with. We wanted to, apart from Kalangara, we wanted to grow vinazi in Buvuma, in Sango Bay, in Rakai, Chotera, Maruzi, in Lango. Now the plan has been revived to grow enough vinazi to have enough oil for soap manufacture within Uganda. But it's a bit, we have lost time. Otherwise, our people will not be suffering on this issue of buto for soap and for vegetable oil. But because of buli kyetukola tulina okusukanga n'omuguwa. Bano bawakana, bano baseketera ku nkomerero akosebwa yani muna Uganda. Awo Omuganda we yagambira olugero nti nantabuulirwa yasabala na bwabumba the one who cannot be advised, tried to cross the lake with a clay boat and it sank in the water. So please, listen, NRM knows exactly what we are doing. What we never talk about things we are not sure about. When I started growing palm oil in Karangara, there was no shortage in the world. There was no problem. But my line was, why should we import palm oil from Malaysia when we can produce it here? That was the reasoning. I didn't even know that there would be a shortage in the world and there would be a crisis. It was just a matter of tasaka. Kubanga enkole amaka tegasaka. Buli maka galima emere emara amaka. So,
Allah to continue to strengthen you so that Ugandans can continue to have peace and stability and also prosperity. We also pray for those who are still experiencing the dangerous COVID-19, the sick, and those who have lost their beloved ones, and those facing various challenges all over the world. We pray that Allah sees all through this in the holy month of Ramadan. At the same time, Your Excellency, I extend my condolences to you and the country for the big loss of the late Right Honorable Jacob Lokori Olanya, the former Speaker of Parliament of Uganda. It is really a huge blow to the country. The country has lost a strong, patriotic person. Let me take the same breath to congratulate our new Speaker of Parliament, Madam Anita Amongi. Congratulations, and I pray that the Almighty God protects you and guides you through that strong responsibility. Your Excellency, on behalf of the Muslims of Uganda and the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council and the entire Muslim fraternity, I commend your unreserved contribution towards the unity of Muslims. I personally appreciate you for intervening in the encouragement of unity among the Muslim community.
With that, let's take a short commercial break. We'll be back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Today in history.
On this day in history, Milton Obote, then President of Uganda People's Congress, started preparing details of his cabinet. This happened after Obote accepting an invitation from the Governor of Uganda, Sir Walter Coates, to form the country's next government.
Pay for your dream phone, Mpola. Get your dream phone today for as low as 1,400 Uganda shillings with free data for a year and pay slowly. All phones come with daily 50 MBs for 12 months. Repayment period is 1 year. Available at MTN service centers and M-Copper shops.
In preparation for the parliamentary and local government councils by-elections in Omoro County, Omoro District, the Electoral Commission will conduct a display of the National Voters Register for Omoro County constituency. The public display of the voters register will be conducted at each polling station within Omoro County from Monday the 25th of April to 4th of May 2022, starting at 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. on each of the appointed dates, including weekends. The purpose of the display exercise is to enable voters to check for the correctness of their particulars, to confirm that photographs appear against correct particulars, to report to the display officer the following categories of persons: those who have died, the non-citizens, if any, those who are under 18 years of age, if any, and those who belong to another parish. Please note that there will also be a display of lists of persons recommended for deletion from the voters register for a period of 6 days from the 5th of May to the 10th of May 2022. The purpose of this supplementary display is to enable any person who may have been wrongly recommended for deletion to raise an objection to the parish tribunal. The parish or ward tribunal may reinstate the person if convinced of the genuineness of an objection.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network. Total Energies has undertaken a number of initiatives aimed at ensuring that Ugandan entities and citizens are adequately equipped to participate in the oil and gas sector.
In 2012, we started working with the Total E&P until 2019, where we worked on the replacement houses, and we delivered 30 houses for the people who were being relocated from the industrial area. We are also working with the Total Energies on over 10 kilometers of roads that we are undertaking. There's a ripple effect. We are getting the services of labor within the communities, materials. Total Energies has been of great assistance to our development. We've expanded our plant and equipment, we've developed our human resources, and we've also improved our management skills.
Total Energies EP Uganda is committed to the empowerment of Ugandans to take an active part in the overall development of the oil project in Uganda.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. We're taking you to more news. Now, opposition party Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, has unveiled a candidate to contest as Member of Parliament for Omoro County in the coming by-election. Now, this follows the position falling vacant after the death of Jacob Olanya, who had served for only a year as Member of Parliament for Omoro constituency. These are the details.
Opposition Forum for Democratic Change FDC party has announced that it will fully participate in the by-election of Omoro because the constituency has predominantly been FDC party stronghold. Hence, the party has unveiled a candidate, Owani Dick Dennis, to contest for Omoro constituency parliamentary seat, and Mary Ayo for position of LC5 councillor for Lalogi, Lakwaya sub-county, Omoro district. The position of Member of Parliament for Omoro fell vacant following demise of Jacob Olanya, while LC5 councillor resigned.
To my brother, the Honorable Dennis Owani.
One people. Why? I want to ensure that we embarked on a massive production of cash crops in our region to see that we also cope up with the other regions which are doing so well.
The FDC party president, Patrick Oboya Muriat, said they are not going for a populist campaign.
To allow the people of Omoro to take their free choice of a candidate they would wish to represent them for the remaining term that the Right Honorable Olanya left. We are not going to tolerate intimidation. We are not going to tolerate torture of our people. We are also not going to tolerate rigging of elections.
The party has put in place teams right from national to district level, including party diehards like Honorable Cecily Ogwar, Fungaro Caps, Betty Awol and Gilbert Olanya to offer critical thinking on how to mobilize people in Omoro. Chwa West legislator in Kitgum district, Okin Ojara, said FDC has put the local person in Omoro above everything, and their campaign is an issue-based.
None of the other political parties have ever won in Omoro. They have won maybe through declaration, but in the actual winning, nobody has won in Omoro except FDC party. So we want to capitalize on that and make sure we harness all the resources available to galvanize the support of the people of Omoro by giving critical issues affecting the people of Omoro.
FDC follows National Resistance Movement and National Unity Platform, who also unveiled their candidates and are fully participating in this election slated for May 26, 2022. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa in Najanankumbi.
Furthermore, the Italian embassy in Uganda is committed to continue using the good relationship with the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Tourism to train more Ugandan wildlife rangers to protect and preserve animals and the environment. The Italian ambassador to Uganda, Massimiliano Mazzanti, made the remarks during the Italian Design Day celebrations held at the Italian embassy showroom in Kampala.
The Italian embassy in Uganda has commended the government of Uganda for the good working relationship between Uganda and Italy. During the Italian Day celebrations held at the Italian showroom in Kampala, the Italian ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Massimiliano Mazzanti, said his country, through the embassy, will continue to sensitize Ugandans about the importance of tourism, agriculture and education, among others, in pursuit for their development.
A team coming from Military Police Carabinieri from Italy that will be training the Uganda wildlife rangers, so the UWA rangers. We will do the training for 40 rangers in security, anti-poaching, environment has an impact also, not only of course in the wealth of the country, but also in tourism, because people want to come here to see the animals, the wildlife.
The Chief Executive Officer, Uganda Tourism Board, Lily Ajarova, commended the Italian Embassy for always partnering with the Ministry of Tourism and Uganda Tourism Board to improve the tourism sector in the country. She also used this occasion to encourage investors in the sector to take advantage of the prevailing peace and security to invest in Uganda.
Because also we would like to invite more business people from Italy to invest in the tourism sector. The Renzori, is one other place because we have a historical relationship with Italy as far as mountaineering is concerned. I don't know how many of us in this room.
Security in Teso sub-region has returned to normalcy following the heavy deployment of the military personnel alongside Teso and Karamoja border to contain the cattle rustling. This was confirmed by the Minister of State for Teso Affairs, Dr. Kenneth Ongalo Obote, saying that the deployment should be considered as permanent for a long-term solution.
Recently, cattle rustling escalated in Teso sub-region following the disbandment of the local defense unit in Karamoja sub-region. The situation, however, normalized in the past 2 weeks following heavy redeployment of the military personnel in the region.
Nobody has been killed, people have gone back to their homes, agriculture is resuming normally. This is because LDUs and military personnel have been deployed across the border between Karamoja and Teso.
Government has now been tasked to consider it as a permanent long-term solution, as well as tracking its root causes.
Also, we should be looking at why this problem is always coming at us from Karamoja. What is it that is in Karamoja that we need to change in order to solve this problem? Once we do that, I think we will have sorted this problem out long term.
The deployment was described as a timely intervention, where security is paramount in implementing government projects.
The restocking, everything, compensation. We want these people to be safe in their homes when we give them back their cows. So the security situation in the border is calm, it is under control.
The Ministry of Teso Affairs has earmarked 300 million Uganda shillings to support over 30 selected groups under micro projects in Teso sub-region.
I am going to be running this program here for 5 years, and I'll keep monitoring. And if these programs don't succeed, especially this money we are bringing here today, if I don't see any change in your economic status, I am going to become one of the advocates to stop the government from giving you this money.
Both local leaders and the beneficiaries hailed government through the Ministry of Teso Affairs for the timely support to boost their livelihood.
My only appeal to my members is we should utilize this money, and I know the benefit we are going to get out of this money is it is going to add up our capital in our businesses we have been doing.
Currently, government through the Ministry of Teso Affairs has spent over 2 billion Uganda shillings in implementation of micro support projects across Teso sub-region.
The holy month of Ramadan today entered its 28th day, marking the last Juma in this holy month. Today's preaching at Kamocha Mosque centered on urging Muslims to embrace the Zakat Fitri in line with the teachings of the Holy Quran. It's against this backdrop that Kampala Affairs Minister Hajati Misa Kawanda prayed and congratulated Muslims upon finishing Ramadan while urging them to embrace effective unity. She also donated rice, sugar, cooking oil, among others.
After asking for forgiveness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will wipe you a Jannah, which is strength, which is weakness and strength. It is almost equated to the size of both the 7 heavens and earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did prepare it for those who do fear Him. We have tried to substantiate on some points, including the teaching, the prophetical teachings, whereby Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man sama Ramadan, he or she who fasts the whole month of Ramadan, imanan wa ihtisab, when he is a true Muslim, associates not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with partners, غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive him or her his or her past sins."
Nanga leso baka bweso do funawo kurabasirawo abatalina bagenda kusimulukirako mawoya kaceera katono ne kasukali no n'akategeso do kujja nako sabakakeze mutima mulungi.
As a Muslim, I've come to donate things for Eid al-Fitr, or you can use it as you want because I cannot decide for you, but at least we've managed to get some things, few things for these people. Of course they cannot be enough, but at least they will assist to the needy. So I've instructed the imams to give to the needy as their brothers and sisters. They should distribute them to our people, but still we are going to add more if we get more. I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Bosco Muwonge. He's been assisting us with things we've supplied in Kampala.
Need to send money to a loved one but you don't have enough on your phone? Have you run out of fuel but you don't have enough money? Do you want to pay for your car or water but have insufficient funds? Or do you want to shop but you don't have enough money? Don't worry, get away with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial *165*5*3# to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
Total Energies has undertaken a number of initiatives aimed at ensuring that Ugandan entities and citizens are adequately equipped to participate in the oil and gas sector.
In 2012, we started working with the Total E&P until 2019, where we worked on the replacement houses, and we delivered 30 houses for the people who were being relocated from the industrial area. We are also working with the Total Energies on over 10 kilometers of roads that we are undertaking. There's a ripple effect. We are getting the services of labor within the communities, materials. Total Energies has been of great assistance to our development. We've expanded our plant and equipment, we've developed our human resources, and we've also improved our management skills.
Total Energies EP Uganda is committed to the empowerment of Ugandans to take an active part in the overall development of the oil project in Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. We now take you to the world of business. Now, Uganda is believed to be one of the fastest growing countries in the world, sustainably contributing to its accelerated economic growth, and has experienced an average annual growth of over 6% in the past 30 years. Now, according to economic models, Uganda's GDP is projected to trend around $34 in billions, that is in 2022, especially during this time as the country's economy is in its stages of recovery. Let's take a look with Sandra Kahunde.
These suggest that although the pandemic had a modest effect on firms' closures, it significantly reduced their operations, such that after 1 year, most businesses have not yet fully recovered.
Because we had years of loss where people were at home, and it was not only in Uganda, it was globally. Airlines stopped, and the airlines are one of the logistics methods or modes of taking goods and service across the globe.
Effect is price, obviously. Like I can give an example, if we take an example of raw material coming from Indonesia. In normal pre-COVID times, it was $2,900 per 40-feet container. During COVID, it went to $5,000. Right now, per container is $7,000 to $8,000 sea freight up to Mombasa port.
The existing surge in global commodities, such as oil and other input prices, since May 2020, the central bank had predicted in August last year that this could influence an increase in domestic prices since the economy had partially been reopened.
When you buy from a country which is already experiencing a rise in inflation, you have imported their inflation. Even the prices you face in that market are also up to tender with inflation.
According to a current report from Uganda Bureau of Statistics indicating that inflation is still below the central bank's target, averaging at 2.4% and 3.4% for headline and core respectively. The global economy is battling with a slow recovery from the pandemic-induced shocks. Therefore, economists warned of an imminent risk in the rising cost of living as a result of imported inflation.
And as you know, when you are looking at the cost of production of a good, these are some of the key things you look at. You look at the costs of production. One of them is transport. So you have to transport the raw materials from wherever they are to Mombasa, from Mombasa or to Dar es Salaam, again to Uganda, to the factories.
Facing another challenge. Due to geopolitical scenarios worldwide, hike in fuel prices, the war and everything which is going on, that has given an adverse effect, very bad effect into our sector especially, because the raw material source has been into the conflict zone.
The findings are attributed to the rising cost of imports, including fuel. Import prices in Uganda increased to 204.02 points in February from 192.59 points in January of 2022. It's therefore upon the central bank to tighten financial markets as it seeks to protect the already weak economy battered by COVID-19 related disruptions and deal with the threat of imported inflation.
Wars and proxy wars in different places, which is affecting the global economy. But otherwise, any business, any economy can recover in 3 to 5 years.
But within this hard time, if government intervenes and tries to help by giving some subsidies or some tax benefits, whatever, so the manufacturing sector can survive and they can stay afloat within this hard time and they can recover.
So this National Development Plan of Uganda takes into account the COVID period and post-COVID period.
Sandra Kahonde, Joel Vobia, UBC News.
Minister of State for Finance in charge of privatization and investment, Evelyn Anite, has challenged Uganda Revenue Authority to look for more avenues of expanding the country's tax base in order to reduce the tax burden on the 800 large taxpayers who contribute 40% of the country's GDP. Anite was officiating at the Yoweri Strategic Stakeholder Engagement for Chief Executives and Chief Finance Officers at Speak Resort, Munyonyo.
Although Uganda currently has a tax potential of over 8 million taxpayers, the tax burden still rests on the 800 large taxpayers who contribute 40% of the country's GDP, a scenario which State Minister for Privatization and Investment, Evelyn Anite, says must change. During a half-day strategic engagement meeting organized by URA for Chief Executives and Chief Finance Officers for over 200 large taxpayers at Speak Resort Munyonyo, Anite tasked URA to devise more ways of widening the tax base in order to reduce the tax burden on the 800 large taxpayers in the country.
We need to broaden the tax base and also do more tax sensitization. And that's why I'm emphasizing this, because if you have fewer people to pay, they get fatigued and then they get reasons of evading taxes.
The large taxpayers contributed 5.7 trillion shillings to URA in taxes. URA Commissioner General John Yoweri Museveni said the engagement aimed at outlining the revenue potential and identifying the challenges and the concerns of the taxpayers.
So they are our number one stakeholders, and this meeting was just to meet and interact, listen to how we can serve them better, listen to if they have any pain points, and also use this opportunity for us to share with them.
Some of the challenges identified during the meeting included the new VAT digitalized invoicing system, non-timely compliance by the taxpayers, and domestic tax evasion, among others.
There were a number of operational issues that they were raising, things that they would want more clarification on. They were talking about some of the requirements, like to pay VAT based on an invoice when you have not received the actual payment.
Participants agreed that the tax management system must be simple and fair, taking into account creating more citizens' awareness regarding the tax payment culture. Juko Collins compiled the story for UBC News.
The microfinance team, together with the State House Youth Action for Social, Political and Economic Development team, have embarked on refresher trainings for the circle leaders aimed at equipping them with vast knowledge on how to manage their circles. The trainings in Sebei sub-region attracted different leaders and beneficiaries from the area. Let's take a look.
Kapchorwa district has a population of over 100,000 people, with many living below the poverty line. However, there are now among the glimmer of hope as government has rolled out numerous programs aimed at eliminating poverty in the area. These include Operation Wealth Creation and the recently launched Emyoga program. The Microfinance Support Center, together with YASPED, has for the last 2 days been training and equipping the SACCO leaders in the area with the skills and experience in SACCO management.
Money to buy 5 machines plus 2 to they made 7, and that's why I can able to train more of them.
When this Emyoga came, we don't now lend money again from the lenders, but we are now the one lending money to them.
It has really done us good because most of us who were living below average are coming up.
They have called for all-inclusive approach, and people who are differently abled have also been asked to take part.
We are living to the standard now like other people who go to farm or who do business. We are also like them now.
What we are doing is building capacity of all the SACCO leaders to understand the processes of SACCO dynamics, SACCO tenets. It is what informed this training, and we have mobilized 5 executives per SACCO to equip them with the knowledge on governance, knowledge on delinquency management, knowledge on mindset change, knowledge on resource mobilization.
They should be able to manage their SACCOs up to the association level. They should also be able to manage bookkeeping. And we also want our people to get out of poverty, because the purpose of this program is to alleviate poverty.
The district local leadership were trained and expressed optimism of the success of the program.
We moved around yesterday, checking out on the tailors and the carpenters. You would actually see the machines that they have put up, and then the people they are trying to build up in that process.
Give it a chance of 6 months. You will see to it that we shall shine as Kapchorwa.
Abdul Nasser Lubwama and Insamba Juma for UBC News.
Well, and that brings us to the end of our 8 o'clock edition of the News Tonight. Join us later on at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold Mugalu Muhammad in Sign Language. See you at 10.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
We bring you a fresh, well-researched program to help you identify opportunities for investment, job creation, growing your entrepreneurial skills,